Hi Aries, welcome to your mid-month April 2022 reading. And thanks to any new subscribers watching, I really appreciate y'all. So today I'll be doing a spread just to check out what you're facing in the middle of this month. I'll do a past, present, future, and then also some cards just to see what kind of situations you have at hand and what the potential outcomes could be. So let's take a look. Ooh. So those two are going to come out. And then two more. Let's take a look. Alright, Aries. So let's see. I'm seeing in this a lot of air sign energy, first of all. I'm getting a sense that if you are dealing with someone, they are an air sign or they have a lot of air sign placements. I'm also getting a sense that this month for you so far has really been about just kind of like figuring out your own inner needs and inner desires and trying to like hone in on your own abilities and things like that, rather than letting other people kind of affect that or determine that for you. But I'm also getting a sense that that's been pretty challenging to try to do. It's been an adjustment to try to like center yourself in your own life. I think you are someone who's been kind of, I don't want to say a mother figure, but I'm getting a sense that you are someone who's like a really big nurturing figure to other people, and it's really getting to you at this point. But you want to be able to adjust so that you can also take care of your own needs while you take care of others. I'm seeing in the past here that your relationships are really thriving, whether it be with friends, family, or a potential lover. It's been really stable, but I think that you have been that source of stability. It seems like you were the rock for a lot of people, and that wasn't a problem in the past. But now, in the middle of this month, you're kind of checking in with yourself, and you're realizing, I kind of need to take alone time. I kind of need to sit by myself and recognize what I want and what I need. I think that you've been this rock for other people, but it's been kind of like a job for you, like a second job. I'm also getting a sense that if you, like in career, I think you're also someone like who's like the go-to person. I think a lot of people look to you for a lot of guidance, and there might have been like a few new hires, if this resonates with you, that you've had to train and things like that. And you welcomed it, like at first, but now it kind of seems like you are working kind of above your pay grade. And I think that also extends into your personal life. I think you're working above your own means. I think it's not going to end up being stable for you if you keep becoming this rock for everybody else, but there's no rock for you. I think that this person I mentioned earlier, they're an air sign. I think that they also don't have like that emotional capacity to become that like center of support for you. I think that you are looking for someone who can be that for you because you've been that for them. And I'm not really seeing them reciprocating here, unfortunately. So in the present moment, in the middle of April, I'm seeing the High Priestess, which means that you kind of need to hone in on that nurturing kind of ability that you have, but use it in isolation, use it as a standalone thing rather than extending it to others. I'm seeing that if you don't, in the future, so I have the Queen of Wands in reverse here, I think it's going to kind of push you away from others. Like in the past here with the Four of Wands, I'm seeing you had these like relationships that you really celebrate in your life, that you really find stability in, that you really, find support in, but it's kind of taking a lot out of you. I'm going to say this is like with your friends, but also with this lover that I'm seeing. I think that at first, like it felt really good if your love language is something like acts of service or, things like that. Like it felt really good to extend that kind of thing at first, but now it's becoming kind of a burden. And I think that if you don't take that time to adjust and, consider yourself in the situation, it's going to end up in the future. I have the Queen of Wands in reverse, like I said, you're going to end up isolated and kind of feeling resentful towards these people that you have in your life. Both your lover, but also friends, family, and I think in career too, you're going to start to resent a workplace that you like actually have started to enjoy if you don't, begin to center yourself. I'm going to pull, let's see, just an oracle card here, just to see what kind of, guiding emotion has been carrying you through this month, and what kind of like, mindset you need to be keeping with you, because it seems like this month so far started like really hopeful, but now it just kind of feels like there's a lot of work going on and it's really bringing you down. I think the middle of April here, you're feeling a bit tired with everything. You're feeling like, everything's just like too much work, and the people that you love and the people around you shouldn't feel like work. And even your job, you appreciated your current job because it didn't feel like work. I'm getting a sense here that Aries, the job that you have is something that you really love doing, but now it's starting to feel like work, and I don't think it should feel that way. So let's take a look. Pull one more. So I have this one here. Ooh, focus. It's animals, but if you can see, it's really like this nurturing figure. It's again like this figure that's indicating that you are the nurturer. You're constantly having this role in other people's lives, that you are nurturing others. I wish that would focus. It's kind of focusing there. Oh, there we go. Well, and then I'm also seeing travel here, but if you look at this card as well, it's this like solitary figure taking their own journey. So I think like with one another, you really need to be considering what you need and kind of take a self journey to reconsider that. I think at this point, you don't want to end up feeling like you're being used by the people around you. So up here, I have a card that kind of represents the overall outlook on this situation, and it's the Justice card here, again, which is indicating another air sign. So I think, again, this person is an air sign that you're dealing with, just in terms of your love life. But I think that overall, you need to be creating this balance within your life of caring for others, but making sure that the people you love are caring for you as well. I think that's going to be a hard discussion to have. This person that you're with seems to be open to communication, but not necessarily willing to take it well. And I think that it's up to you to really have this conversation despite the consequences, because if you really love them and you really want them in your life, they should be willing to compromise and kind of take care of your needs as well. So overall, I think in all aspects of your life, like, love, family, career, you need to be reconsidering how fair is this situation to me? Is it benefiting both sides of this situation? Is it just me who's like reaping the, who's unfairly receiving, all the labor in this, or are other people also caring for me as well? Down here, I also have the Queen of Coins in reverse. So this is down here indicating the outcome if you don't kind of like take this upper card into consideration. So if you don't take into consideration that things should be fair, that your life should be more balanced rather than you being the worker for everybody else, the outcome will be that you will end up isolated, like kind of how we saw in this future card here. Typically the Queen of Coins would mean like you're a really nurturing figure. Like I said, that's kind of like a guiding principle that you have in your life right now, Aries, or a guiding role that you're taking on. But it seems like in reverse, you're going to kind of start to resent that role that you've taken on. It means that you're not really going to be willing to be there for others, and I think that also could cause complications. You don't want to become like the absent, become absent in all these people's lives, especially this air sign that you're dealing with. I don't think that you should just end up, kind of cutting them off or just like completely cutting off the support that you've been showing them, but it should be like this compromise. There should be balance. There should be justice, like we're seeing this card here. I'm going to pull a Hidden Truth Oracle because I'm getting a sense that this air sign you're dealing with might be a Libra. Just really feels like this is going to be a hard conversation to have. They're not really someone who's like super open to, not criticism, but, like discussion where they might be kind of at fault. But you do love them and you do want them around. So I kind of want to see what they're thinking at the moment. I hide behind the material things. And I would say that's a very Libra thing to say. I think that they take things very face value. They don't really want conflict. They're not someone who likes conflict. They're not someone who likes to dig deep into things. They want a relationship for kind of like, not to be like, mean, but like for the aesthetics of the relationship. And I think that when it comes down to serious things like conflict and conversation, that's going to be a harder thing to have with them. Because they're just not like super willing to do it yet. I think this person is just not used to that kind of emotional, discussion and things like that. But I think it needs to be had for your own, your own sake and your own sanity. Because like I'm saying, in this outcome, I'm seeing that you're not going to be happy. You're going to end up being really isolated and resenting the people that you have really like celebrated in your life before. I'm going to pull one more oracle card just to see what kind of thing you need to keep in mind during this discussion that you have with this air sign. Let's see. Ooh. It's too many. Hold on. Let's see, Aries. So I have financial health here and manifestation. So I think, like I said, I think you need to really like dig deep within yourself and manifest the things that really help you and support you and are beneficial to you. And then financial health, I'm seeing that, okay, so how I'm interpreting, because based on this, like, you can see the image here. Based on this image here, there's kind of like this scene that's thriving and things like that. I think that while you're having that discussion, you need to keep in mind that, this relationship can't thrive and can't move forward unless you express your own needs and unless you kind of, put your needs forward. I think that so far your needs have not been met. And I think that you were really happy in the beginning and it was like the honeymoon phase. But I think right now it's feeling like you feel kind of like this person's being a burden to you. They come home after work and they are able to like talk about all the things during their day, but you can't do the same. And I think that's really getting to you to this point. And I think that's a discussion that needs to be had. So I would just keep that justice mindset in mind for the rest of this month moving forward. And also make sure you have that conversation with that air sign in your life. I think it would be really important, even if it is going to be really hard. Thanks, Aries.